Hello, welcome to my first ever Q&A. I've never done one. Out of all the times that I've been on this channel, there's never been a Q&A. Can't believe it. Also, you lot are going to find this so funny because I'm such a technophobe like that. But I'm like filming my videos, just putting my video on, filming it. Just realised that my trusty old iPhone 11 does 4K. So I could have been doing 4K instead of HD, but I wasn't. I was using HD because I'm old and a technophobe. Just a quick update before I start with my questions, which I've written down. I just had a phone call from my new job. Somebody asked the other day what day I was starting my new job. My new job starts on Monday because my DBS came back already. And that would be because I've already had about, I think it's 4 or 5 DBSs I've done already. So I think that you have to do one every time. And I think it's every few years that you do an updated one. Basically, I think that I've had so many done that they just have a look and make sure that I've not committed a crime in between this time and that. And they just go, okay, yeah, she's fine. So they didn't really have to do a lot with my stuff. They just basically look into it, make sure that I'm not a criminal and send the DBS off. So my DBS turned up in record time, less than 2 weeks. And yeah, I think, when did I do it? I think it was, no, it turned up in a week. I sent a payment last Friday. So 1 week it took them. So well done, DBS people. Thank you for that, because it means I can start work. Really happy. Anyway, let's get on to the questions, shall we? I've had a few good ones. I forgot to close it down on the video, but I will do. I'll put on there that it's closed and just take the comments off so I don't get any more questions, because today was my day for doing the Q&A. And I've been really excited about it for days on end, like to do this thing. I don't know why I look so puffy today. It's probably that 4K. Maybe I'll turn it back to HD. Anyway, questions. Sorry, went way off track. What is she doing? Lucky. Did you do something wrong and put yourself in timeout or something? Lucky. Hello. Lucky. She's away with the fairies. Okay, questions. So Claire asked, how did you meet your husband? I met my husband, so we used to go to the same local pub as each other, and it was a long time ago that we originally met just in passing, used to say hello to each other because we just drank in the same pub. We were both with different people at the time. So yeah, nothing like that happened. We were just both with different people at the time. And so, you know, there weren't like any like real like attraction, or there wasn't any us sort of, you know, wanting to be together or anything like that. What actually happened was we both ended up single around the same time. I think I'd been single for quite some time. He ended up single and had been single for, I don't know, a year or so, something like that. And what happened was, it was my birthday, and my friend, who is just all about my birthday, all about birthday. She's always getting people out for their birthday. She was on the phone to me from like 7:30 in the morning going, come down and meet me, come down. And she was like that. And I was like, no, I don't want to come down there. And, you know, it took me ages to have a shower. I don't think I had a shower until about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I was meant to be going to my aunt's at 3 in the afternoon. And I just did not want to go. But that one day, I mean, I wasn't sort of, you know, thinking I was going to get with someone. But that one day I went down there on my birthday, and I think he was on a jukebox or something. And she said, oh, he's single, you know. And I don't know, we hadn't really thought about it. But I carried on like doing my birthday, didn't really think anything of it. I'd been single for quite some time, and I wasn't really looking and stuff, which is always the way, isn't it? You're not really looking. And yeah, pretty much what happened was, I was really late going to my aunt's, about 3 hours late. I was at the pub from about, I don't know, probably 2 till 6 or something like that. I was there for quite some time, and I was going to be going to my aunt's to spend my birthday with them. So as I was leaving to get in a taxi to go to my aunt's, he said, if you ever like want to go for a drink or whatever, give me a ring. And he gave me his phone number, and the rest is history. And then we got together, we never looked back, and we got married in 2020. So we got together in 2016, and was it 2016? Yeah, 2016. I've been with him for 9 years this year. We got together in 2016 and we got married in 2020 during lockdown, and our wedding was postponed. It was meant to be in June, but we got married in September. And I was on all the prayer groups and stuff on Facebook, and they were all praying for me, going, this wedding is going to happen, and all of this stuff. It was just madness. But yeah, that's how we met. We met in a pub, so that's how we met. I hope that answers your question. That was quite in depth, wasn't it? Did I go on and waffle for far too much? I bet this video is about 25 minutes long because I've got 7 questions. So we'll see how that goes. Mary asks, were you brought up in any particular faith? So this is a good one. I was so impressed with this question, Mary. So when I was a little girl in 1863, they taught Christianity in schools still. So now they don't in the UK. They don't teach it in schools anymore, really. And so we used to go to school, and we would do morning prayers in assembly and sing hymns and celebrate Easter and Christmas and do nativity and go to a carol service in the local church and all of that stuff. So I had a real good basis in Christianity. That would have been for my mum and my nan as well, that everybody kind of done that. I went to Sunday school and stuff like that. So I had a good base in Christianity. I wouldn't say I was brought up in a particular faith. Faith is Christianity, right? I think it's like more of a church thing. So the church thing for me has been it's been a ride. It's been a difficult ride. I've tried out. So I've always had that basis in Christianity. I've always said a prayer. I had a very difficult childhood, and just to have that sitting in my room, they brought a Gideon's New Testament into schools, which they used to do then, and I had that. I wish I still had it, because it was my saving grace, honestly, for years as a child. I had a very, very tough childhood for the most part. I had some people around me who really tried to make it good for me, but my childhood was tough. And so, and just to make this clear, I wouldn't have had it any other way, because I wouldn't have turned out to be the person that I am without having that rough childhood and without having that. So this is what was meant to happen. This was the plan, and, I'm okay. But just to have that, I had my little Gideon's Bible, and I used to sit in my room, and in it, it had like, if you wanted prayers, it had scriptures for anxiety, for feeling sad, for feeling happy. So I used to rely on that a lot as a child. I can remember being 7 or 8 years old and reading the New Testament in my bedroom. And what happened was, a friend of mine was going to the local Baptist church to Sunday school. I went there for a little while. Wasn't that keen on it. I didn't really, I don't know, I just didn't feel really comfortable there. And I ended up trying other stuff. I went to the Catholic church, and, they were lovely, fantastic, but it's just, I wanted to just worship, I wanted to worship the Lord. I'm there to worship the Lord with other people that are imperfect like me. That's how I felt about it. And so I tried other stuff. I ended up joining the LDS church when I was 15. I did briefly talk about why I left there a while ago, but I got some good foundational stuff from them. Don't get me wrong. They do amazing things. They really do. I'm not here to diss them. They, the Monday with your family thing was like family home evening was a great idea. I highly recommend that. 1 day a week at home with your family. Fabulous. They had lots of extracurricular things and lots of like meetups and stuff like that, and they were real foundation. They really sort of, people would say, well, they were just trying to keep you involved, but actually in keeping you involved, it kept you on the straight and narrow. So, and my kids had, great friends and great times with them. So it was really good. But I will speak briefly about why I left. So one of the people that was called as bishop, who was like, I honestly, you wouldn't have known, was just the nicest person. And it turned out that he was looking at stuff online that he shouldn't have been looking at. It is in the papers, and you know, he was working in a school as well, and that was basically his cover up, the fact that he was a bishop and a teacher. And he got caught out by his daughter, and the mum basically made him go to the police station and hand himself in. And in doing that, he thought he was talking to another child who was 12. And it turned out that that person was also someone that shouldn't have been doing stuff online. So they caught 2 for the price of 1 by doing that. When that happened, it really shook me, because I'd had, you know, a tough time as a kid myself, not because of that, but it had been tough. And this was my safe place. It had become my safe haven, and I thought it was safe to take my kids there. And when that happened, it threw me. It completely threw me, which I think it's understandable of anyone. It would throw you, you know, off. So I stopped going for a bit, and then they got this new bishop, and the new bishop was really, really young. Like, really young. I mean, he must have been 22, 23, and there was this big thing about he's the youngest bishop, but he didn't have the life experience, in my humble opinion. And a lot of people left after that as well, just because it was so difficult to be there, that there wasn't that life experience. You didn't feel like you were getting that same thing from a bishop, where you could just go and ask for help for things or for advice, and, you know, there wasn't that same thing there. So ultimately, I decided that the best thing to do was to walk away, and I did do that. And then during lockdown, so not that long ago, I noticed on social media that the local Church of England church were doing services online on a Sunday. And I was like, that's so cool. That way I don't have to leave the house. I don't need to worry about my... God has got some plans, I tell you. If you want to make God laugh, telling your plans. Because honestly, I couldn't have done this any better. So I end up doing these online things. And at first I wasn't like showing my face on it. I was just on the Zoom meeting. They sent a link every week on their website or whatever, and on their pages. And I joined the Zoom link, and I would watch their services and just not, you know, be on camera. And then after a couple of weeks, I felt quite comfortable. They were a really good bunch. They're great fun, you know, and they do their worshipping, and it's the sort of people that I love. We're all perfectly imperfect, and, you know, you're just there to worship and to build yourself and grow in your faith. And so I started to do the online thing at the weekend, and I got to know them online before I even met them. And then the lovely Reverend the vicar there, Mandy, who's just the most beautiful person. She's leaving soon. I don't want her to leave. She's leaving at Easter. She actually brought me an Easter egg round. She asked me for my address, and she put it on my doorstep, and then ran back to her car because it was like lockdown. You can only like do that. You had to drop things on people's steps. So she done that, and it was the first time I saw her. And then I started actually going to the church. Now, the weird thing is, I don't always get up there, and sometimes I feel like such an idiot, because I'm like, just go, just get up and go. So this week I'm going to get up and go, because I really miss them, and I don't want to miss her last bit of time there. I really, really, really want to spend time with her. The other thing is, and this is, oh, excuse me, this is the other thing, I really consider being baptised again. Now, there's a really valid reason for that, really valid. When I've done an LDS baptism, they don't believe in the Trinity. They believe that God and Jesus and the Holy Spirit are all separate. And as far as I'm aware, everyone believes in the Trinity. I don't think there's many that don't. And for me, that it's been really heavy on my heart that I feel like I need to be baptised in the Trinity. So it's something that I'm looking into at the moment, and it might be something that happens, and I really want her to do it. So I need to go, because she, for sure, like, I need her to do the baptism, because I don't want her to go without doing it. We've been on such a journey together, and she's a wonderful person, and I really felt like when I started going there to this Church of England church, it's just up the road from me, 5 minutes. And, you know, at one point I lived in the same road as there, you know, and I never thought to even bother going. So, I don't know, it's just God moves in mysterious ways, and I really think that I'm going to do that. But yeah, please comment below, let me know what you think about that. That would just be an amazing moment for me, and I would love to do it again. And I would also love to do a YouTube channel that's just a Christian-based YouTube channel, just because of the way I am, the way I love to sort of speak about that stuff. And I think sometimes, especially on this channel, but then, you know, I'm not going to change who I am because people don't like it, you know, see what I mean? But at the same time, it's I do think that it should be each to their own. People should be allowed to sort of worship how they want, but this is the way I worship, and this is my life, and it's my life that I'm sharing. So yeah, it's something that I really consider. Do I do another channel or not? I don't know, but let me know what you think. Anyway, thank you for that question, Mary. That was really good, and I hope that answered your question. Now I've been waffling for 15 minutes. I'm so sorry. This video is going to be like 10 million hours long. Anyway, next one. Irene asks, would you get any more cats if you were allowed? Oh my gosh. I love cats. Now listen, if you go back to my older videos, I had a black and white cat called Max, and he was my OG cat. He was my life. He lived to the age of 20. I spoilt him rotten. I've never seen another cat like him. He was fabulous. He had such a quirky little personality, and I swear he thought he was a human. But you know, he would never drink out of a water bowl. He had to drink out of the tap, and there's videos of that on there. And, you know, he used to sit there looking at me sideways because he had teeth taken. He was that old, you know, we had to have teeth taken out of him. And, you know, he ended up with arthritis, bless him, in the back of his legs. And, you know, he was on stuff for that. And, oh, I just miss him every day. So if I mean, my husband won't let me get another cat, but I would love to have another cat, and I would love it to be a black and white one, and not necessarily a kitten. I am all about rescuing, and you know, it's really, they're well looked after, and I take really good care of them. And I know that, you know, I'm fully aware that they own the house. I don't. It's not my house. It's theirs. So you know, yeah, absolutely. I would 110%. Have another cat. In fact, I'd have another 20 if I could, but I live in a house with other people. What did I do that for? I should be living in a house by myself, being a mad cat lady, because that's exactly what I want to grow old to be. Why would I not want to do that? Right, next question. Bridie. Oh, Bridie. Bridie. Always having a chat with me. You obviously love George. George, if for those of you who don't know, I'll just pop a picture right here. George. George is my friend's dog. If you didn't have cats, would you like a dog? So, I do love George. In actual fact, I just love animals for the most part. The only thing I'm not really keen on is spiders. I don't like creepy, crawly animals, but even then, my brother had a bearded dragon, and I absolutely love that bearded dragon. So I don't know. I'm just an animal person, but cats is my favourite thing. And believe it or not, we've had a dog. It was a long time ago. She lived to the grand old age of 15. She looked like a Shih Tzu. She was like a Lhasa Apso style dog. I rehomed her from a friend of my friend's mum, who could no longer take care of her, and we looked after her, and she was a great dog. She had a real personality. She did not like to play fetch and things like that. If you threw a ball at her, she'd just watch it go past her and look at you like you were mad. So she was that kind of a dog. She was a pampered pooch, shall we say. She used to quite happily go for a walk with me and then stop when I got outside the groomers because she didn't want to go in there. So she had a great personality. But she unfortunately passed a long time ago. Oh gosh, I can't remember what year it was. I think it was 2010 or 11. But she unfortunately she passed. And after that, I said I'd never get another dog. Now, the reason for that is cats tend to sort of look after themselves. They're fiercely independent, and dogs don't. They need to be walked every day and all of that stuff. And as much as that sounds lovely, when the weather, today the weather's like howling out there, and they're threatening snow, and it's windy and nasty, and the last thing you want to do is that. And I don't think it's fair to just let them run around the garden. They have to be walked every day. So I wouldn't get another dog. just because of the commitment, but I do love them and I love George very much. You're right. Thanks for that question. Right, next one. Hannah, would you move to London? Hannah, when I was a teenager, 16, 17, I desperately wanted to move to London. I wanted to go there. It was an actual dream of mine to move to London. And this was in the 90s. London, this is the weird thing, because everyone goes, oh, London. You see things on the news, don't you? And it's all like, you know, marches and riots and whatever. And I'm like, it's, you know, the news is bad. It's always bad. I go up London regularly to see my daughter, regular in London. You know, if we go out, we go London, we go see the sights, we go London. And we're probably going to do that again in the summer because it's one of our favourite things to do. However, you know, every time I go up there, it's never like it is on the news. Londoners are some of the most friendliest people in the world. So if you've not been to London and you're thinking of going, please go. It's nothing like the news. It's absolutely lovely. Londoners are some of the nicest, most polite people in the world. You can have a right laugh with them. I mean, you know, you talk to everyone up there. It's completely different even to my town. My town used to walk down the road and people used to say morning. They don't do that anymore. In London, they still do. There's still that London love. I love that place. London has got my heart and I love it. But to answer your question, I would have moved there when I was younger. I wouldn't now because I'm getting older and slower and and it's very expensive up there and you'd want to live somewhere quite nice. And yeah, it's just, I wouldn't now, but I am so lucky. I'm 40 minutes away from London. In actual fact, I'm literally, you know, minutes away from outer London. And, you know, I don't feel the need that I need to live there now because I can go up there whenever I like. And there's always transport up there. And we have London buses down this way. So, you know, there's always a way to get up there and go see London and see different parts of London. And yeah, I wouldn't live there now, but I love the place. And I highly recommend visiting if you haven't, because it's still a fabulous city, one of the greatest cities in the world. Not that I've been to many, but but it is. And I really love it. Very patriotic for my London. I love London. It's a very beautiful place. It's, you know, eclectic. You get everybody there, all walks of life, all races, all religions. I don't believe in this race thing. There's only one race, it's human. But, you know, it's all, everything there is just gelled in. Everyone just mingles and everyone's, you know, loves each other. So I don't know where the news get their stories, but I can tell you that London ain't like that in real life. So definitely go visit. Hope that answers your question. Gracie knows me in real life. So Gracie asked me a couple of questions, which one was a joke because she was my favourite work colleague. Just to answer that question, Gracie, you were my favourite work colleague and I was meant to meet you. Gracie's getting married this year and I can't wait. She's getting married this year. I'm probably not going to be allowed to film it, but I will definitely be going. So I'll film the travelling to her wedding. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm so excited. And she was my favourite work colleague. And we still celebrate Hump Day most weeks, if we remember. Even though we're not working together anymore, Hump Day is such a special day for us both. I think you'd agree, Gracie. But the other question was, if you could go on holiday anywhere, where would you go? So this is another good question. I would go to the United States of America because when I was in the LDS, I met a lot of people who were American, and I've got a friend who, you know, who's an old friend that I've not spoken to in ages, who's Irish and moved over there. And I would like to visit them. And the other thing is, there's things in America that I would love to see. Like everybody else, or like most people, I would love to go see New York. I would just like to see it. Another thing is an old friend, another one that I've not spoken to for a while, an older couple. I asked them once what it was like, how different it was to the UK. And they said it's because it's so vast and so big, everything's huge. And I just want to go and experience it. I'd like to see like some really random stuff. I'd love to see, I know that somewhere in the desert, somewhere in the middle of nowhere, I'd have to find out where it was, but they have JFK's Air Force One. And I'd love to see that. That'd be amazing, because I'm like, you know, I've got like a weird obsession with JFK and that whole administration. Don't know why, just have. I mean, it's, you know, Camelot on it. It's this fantasy of everything being perfect. Probably wasn't, you know, as many people know, but, you know, I would just like to see it. And, well, California, I know that, God bless LA, but I know that I'd love to go to California, and I wouldn't want to go to Vegas. I just don't think it would be for me. I'm not that like 24-hour party people stuff. And I'm not a gambler, so it's not like, you know, I'll do the lottery if I remember sometimes, or if I'm feeling lucky, but I really think you create your own luck. So not that, but I would absolutely, to answer your question, I would love to go to America. I would love to go see it. I'd like to see some different parts of it. I'd like to see Colorado. I have no idea why. I couldn't tell you why. I'd just like to go see it. I'd like to, you know, like to do a road trip. Wouldn't that be cool? I don't drive. And I don't think I'd want to drive over there anyway, because I think I'd be too scared. It's like wrong side of the road for me and all of that, and it's too big. But a road trip, an American road trip, that's the dream. That's the ultimate dream, the ultimate goal. And I would really enjoy that, I think. So yeah, that was my first ever Q&A. Oh, so it was so good. I really enjoyed that. I want someone to sit down and do like an interview now, so that I can just unload all of my life. I'm sure that you lot would watch 5 minutes and be like switching off. All of my life experience. Just unload a lot of it on you for like I don't know, like a live interview with me. With me, humble Larissa from Kent in the UK. What am I like? But yeah, there's that. And yeah, great questions, fabulous. Did waffle on for half an hour like I thought. This is probably going to take 10 million hours to upload, because I've done it in 4K. You can see all of my wrinkles. I apologise for the hair today. I've not washed it. I'm trying to get it used to not being washed every day, because you know, I'm just getting low maintenance, and I've spent all this week having to clear out and chucking stuff on Vinted because I don't need it, and I just realised I don't need it. But anyway, thank you so much for all of your questions, and I will see you on the next one.